Welcome back to Champion Select. Guys, it's your boy Shinya. We are back from Hartford. Today we are joined here by two very special guests. Cinematic Sister Universe Channel, Summer's Weekly JD. JD, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Shinya. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. And guys, we are joined here with a very special guest. We are joined here, Best of Sivir from RQ Hartford. Bloody welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here. Welcome. How are you
Hello,
doing today?
hello. I'm doing great. I'm having a very fun time. If you haven't seen part one, you should go check out part one. And yeah, no, I'm ready for part two. I'm excited.
Doing my job for me. Bloody, thank you so much. Great first part interview. I gotta ask, how was your trip back from Hartford? Was it an arduous journey like a lot of people was? I heard a lot of people were having some issues getting home.
I was lucky because this is the first RQ that's like close enough to home. I live in New
Mhm.
Jersey, so it was
Ah,
like 3 hour drive,
okay.
and like honestly, every 20 minutes. So I'm driving with three of my friends, and every 20 minutes I'm like, guys, did you know? They're like, what? And I'm like, I won the best of, and they're like, no, what?
What?
And like every time, like fresh, never heard of it. It's
That's
just a good
awesome.
running bit. I was just processing. It was a very fun time.
We love it. We'd love to hear it. Cool. So obviously, again, go check out part one if you haven't heard it yet. So let's jump into it. I wanna hear some. I want to get you some more of the competitive side of the questions. Obviously, best of Sivir in Hartford. So sitting down at the table, jumping into it, is there any matchups that like you wanted to see sitting down? Like, is there any champions or legends that were like, yes, locked in, I got this?
Oh, absolutely. I was really hoping to see Aurelia's. I
Mm,
think we're really good against Aurelia. I was hoping to see Diana. Didn't end up seeing it, but
yeah.
that's okay. Yi, as always, is a good matchup. It's a little worse for the Baron iteration on game one,
Mm-hmm.
but frankly, I beat all the Yis in game three anyway. So it's
Mm,
just like I normally. It's funny because like normally Aurora's thing is you win game one, but
yep.
like I think because so much of our main deck is tech cards, all you really need to do is slot in the barons and the flurries, and
Mm-hmm.
then suddenly you're just like not losing keys. I mean, it's close, but like if you play your cards right, it's really solid. So anytime I saw an Aurelia, when I saw Annie, I was like, wait, frankly, that's really good. Um, uh, you know, so generally the purple stuff. The purple
Yeah.
stuff
Oh yeah.
is what I was really excited to see because Baron is so good against it.
Yeah, like JD said earlier, being that really big camel, not being able to target that, and as someone as someone who's playing Yi and came across two Auroras over the weekend, I'm very sad. And on the flip side of that, is there any legends that you were not happy to see when you sat down across them, like maybe like those Victors or those like aggro Dariuses?
Yeah, so going up against Darius was rough. I was not particularly happy to go up against a Lucian.
Mm.
This person ended up being the best of Lucian too,
Oh. Mm.
which I was really happy because our games were so much fun, and like I did beat them, and then I saw them at the best of ceremony, and we were like, hey, you won too! So it was really cool. Very like a talented, fun player to play against.
Yeah.
And yeah, so but like walking into Lucian, I was like, I'm gonna get cooked, and I was very lucky to not have. Um, I think I was honestly scared about my round two Renata Glask because if it
Mm.
was like the
Mm.
infinite combo
Yep.
version, that could have been a bit tricky. I was really fortunate to dodge Victor this time around.
Mm.
Victor is like the hardest matchup, and I went up against two Victors in Utrecht. Like I top
Yeah.
128 at Utrecht, and I went up against two Victors, and I did beat one of them. So it's not like it's unlosable, or
Mhm.
sorry, it's not like it's unwinnable, but it ain't easy. So
Yeah.
I was very thankful to not have gone up against either Victor or Combo Lux because like
Yeah.
there were so few Combo Luxes, but Aurora versus Combo Lux is grim. Like
Yeah.
that's you just my advice is don't.
Yeah, it's awesome to hear the stories of like seeing these people at these best of ceremonies and seeing them like throughout the day. My round two opponent was an MF Aurora, who actually I obviously lost to, who ended up winning best of MF, and it was awesome, seeing there at the best of ceremony, seeing him, getting some footage and just talking to him for like a half hour and hearing his journey through the next, 12 rounds after 11 rounds after he had smoked me. I love hearing those stories, but
That's awesome.
yeah, it's amazing. So I gotta ask, do you have any rituals when you're going into these like important matches, and do you have anything that you do to like avoid tilting?
Yeah, I think something that honestly I've talked about in therapy lately is I used to get really anxious in my matches, and I used to get
Mm,
really anxious about like if I was gonna lose, and I used to like start tilting off kind of before I even lost the game. And I think, anxiety is our brain's way of telling us that we're about to enter something unsafe. And I think
mm,
what's been really helpful to me is just repeating to myself, like if I'm getting really worked up or really anxious, just like repeating like there's nothing unsafe about this. I'm walking into every game understanding that I will either win or lose. I'm walking into every tournament with the understanding that I will do my best, and however the cards fall, the cards fall. Nothing here is unsafe. Nothing here will hurt me. Just enjoy yourself. And
yeah.
that's been helping a lot.
That's such an interesting thought process. I never thought about it that way. Is like at the end of the day, we're here to have fun, to play a card game. If even if you lose, you're not being harmed in any physical way. You just
Yeah.
wow. That's very wow. I gotta take that into consideration because I have a lot of anxiety playing as well. And
I yell, bro. We were doing scrims tonight, and I was like, fuck. I was like really tilting, so I gotta take some of that to heart.
that yeah.
I
Oh
think
yeah.
the other thing that's important to me is that I do let myself feel my feelings.
Mm,
Like after my day one, I had lost that last round, and I was bummed because like I
yeah.
was hoping I hit the 6-1 and I was like nice, and I queued up against the Yi and I was like nice, and then I lost and I was like not nice.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone remembers, but I was just like parked on a bench in front of the convention center, just like lying down, eating a burger and fries, watching Ted Lasso on my phone, and just like not giving a shit. I was like, I'm gonna let myself wallow a little because like that's also natural and that's also normal. Like I'm allowed to be bummed for now and then lock in tomorrow. So
Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said about like the psychological aspect of card games and like you said, just letting yourself feel those feelings. And a lot of people, and I have that toxic masculine trait where I push down all those feelings and I let it ride at ultimately the end of the day. But I gotta ask, going into this, top 128 in Utrecht, you guys, I know in the previous interview you mentioned you talked a lot with Ali Eldrazi and you guys sort of co-conspired on the deck. Was what preparation mattered the most? Was it like the deck building? Was it like the matchup testing? Did you do any sort of like little limit testing like my league players out there?
I think the factors that mattered the most and that contributed the most to the top performance was the experiences that I gained in Utrecht were fairly invaluable. Like just
Mm,
being able to play. I played so much online before that, like
yeah.
before Vancouver, before Utrecht especially. I played so much before that, and I think going to an international one really like a like a transatlantic one
Yeah.
really put me to the limits physically. Like I played my hardest under like intense jet lag, and it gave me I also like told myself I would pamper myself, get my own hotel room,
Mm,
like take a lot of nice pleasant walks. I wasn't gonna socialize too much. I was just gonna like let me be me, and just like it was very nourishing to the soul to just walk around and sort of reflect and just like enjoy myself there. And I think the experience that I have been gaining from just playing in the high stakes matches under physical duress has helped a lot because I play a ton online. I
mm,
practice so much online because I usually want to play during the workday because this is like my job.
yeah.
And most of my friends, have like other stuff going on. And so usually I'm just like grinding the ladder during the workday. So it's nice to be able to take all that practice and actually like apply it in person. And I feel like that results in me leveling up so much every time I go to a regional because like I'm just like taking all these games and then like compressing it into like skills and just like stacking them on top of each other while I'm playing.
Yeah.
I think yeah, like practicing a ton beforehand is great. I have a thing where I don't let myself play games the day before the tournament. Like I
Oh,
simply don't. Like
okay.
like before the pre-regional, so like that Thursday, I don't play a single game. I think about the game. I can think about it a bunch, but like I know now that there's not a single game that will be better for me than a good night's sleep.
Mm,
So I am just like really trying to do my best to just eat well, like just feed myself good tasty calories, like make myself happy and get some good sleep and just try to pamper myself a little bit physically. I think that helps me a lot in tournament, and also just like making sure I'm well fed throughout the event is a
mm,
really big deal for me. I think I will eat some random I like I remember in Utrecht they had really good pulled chicken sandwiches
Ooh.
at the concessions, and I had like 7 of those. It was like every 2 to 3 rounds I'm like, all right, I just gotta shove food in
Yeah.
me. Like I need a I drank like 2 gallons of water like during tournament days. Like I'll fill up this whole thing every
Mm.
single round. I'll eat food. Like I want to put so much fuel in me so that all I have to focus on is playing. I don't need to
Yeah.
think about being hungry. I don't need to think about being thirsty. I don't need to think about being tired. I
Mm.
just want to focus on the game.
Yeah, and you touched on a good point there. As someone who followed your journey a little bit back when you were in Utrecht, I know you mentioned they had some crazy good breakfasts out there. And I
Yeah.
think what a lot of players fail to do, and myself included, is that when we're traveling to these different places, we are just seeing as we're there to play games. I think if you slow down a little bit more, maybe give yourself an additional day before or after, explore the area that you're in, explore some of the local joints. I don't know if you got a chance, if you're a big barbecue person, there's Bears and Hartford that everyone was talking about, but I feel like we really underestimate the amount of exploring and just getting back and like seeing the new areas that we're in. And I love that, again, that I keep coming to that back to that breakfast. You said you had some like the best breakfast that you ever had in your truck. Do you think that
Oh,
like
so good.
plays a part in how well like you do in tournaments?
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
think like day 1 of Utrecht, I had a delicious breakfast. I rode like a mile on a bike to get from breakfast to the convention
Oh,
center,
Oh,
and like I was
cool.
just like, wow, the bike infrastructure here is beautiful. I'm in such a good mood. Like I got
yeah.
some good outdoors, like I got some good rest, I got some good food in me. Like I feel like feeding your soul is just as important as like feeding your body. And
Mm,
it's just like in these moments, if I could find myself in just a happy place, then I think that's when I play my best. I like to hope that it showed. I think that I got a lot of, for like especially in Hartford, because I had more sleep and I was feeling more comfortable and just having more fun with this Baron list.
mhm.
In Hartford, I got like a comment that I got the most. I want to say like at least like nine or so of my rounds. I had some very serious opponents, and that's
Yeah.
totally fine. But I want to say at least like 8 or 9 of my rounds, people were like, "This is the most fun I've ever had playing against Aurora," because it's just like I'm just
Yeah.
like joking around and like having a good time and just like trying to stay lighthearted and like
Yep.
you know I want to say that like I just have this like terrible repeat dad joke whenever someone auctions my Aurora. I'm like, "You're taking my gold?" And then like, it's just like a fun laugh. It's just like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying to keep it lighthearted and do my best. And like I think like ultimately I really want to embrace the fact that we're all here to have fun. And
Yep.
like
Mm.
I think that matters a lot to me. And like yes, it gets intense. And yeah, that's totally fine. And you're allowed to feel intense and you're allowed to like, um lock the hell in. But like I think part of what keeps me going the whole weekend is like the fun times as well.
Yeah.
We spoke to Ollie, and he was like, playing Aurora is so much fun because you can inflict psychic damage on your opponent. And so part of the psychic damage is like, oh, you top deck something and you already have an Aurora in hand, but you get a second one and you're like, oh, that was the best top deck I've ever had. And then you play another one. And just like some of the things that you get to do in Aurora, I think like people don't consider that psychic damage. It goes a long way because people will get traumatized playing against the deck, I feel like.
Yeah, you got to be
Yeah.
lighthearted. You got to be lighthearted at these things. I mean, you said it perfectly. At the end of the day, we're all human. We're all here. We're all nerds. We're congregating to play a card game. Let's keep it lightheaded. Let's keep it light. Yeah, we can lock in and be serious, but we're playing a card game for Pete's sake. You don't too many people being salty. Kind of like having their trips ruined by a game loss, things like that. Um, so as some you guys mentioned, in the previous segment that there's a lot of different changes made to the deck from Utrecht going into Hartford. Do you think there's a kind of like a stigma currently with like players that sort of like look at these decks and they're focusing on just deck lists instead of the gameplay? Do you think that that's like a net negative for like players ultimately if they're just looking at the best decks and trying to play them, trying to pilot them without getting the reps in?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really funny because a friend of mine plays a lot of Aurelia on the ladder, and he was like, "Dude, I went up against like 5 different people playing your best of list, and I beat them all." And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like, if I play against this friend and he's playing Aurelia, I want to say confidently I'm winning 9 out of 10 games.
Hmm.
And I'm like, how did you beat them all? And he's like, they were not very good.
Hmm.
And so it's definitely a two-pronged angle of just like picking up the list is great, figuring out why it functions and how it ticks is also great. Now, granted, like losing is part of winning. Like
Yeah.
you need to lose to learn lessons and to figure out how to play better and stuff like that. But yeah, like absolutely, I think there's a lot of what and not a lot of why, and I think that's like just kind of a natural in card games. And I think
Mhm.
especially with Aurora, there's much more intricacy than people believe.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, it's Aurora. You ramp, you play Aurora. Like what else is there? And like that's fine. I'm happy to have them think that. I think the people like what I noticed was after about like 40 or 50 matches with Aurora, I started seeing the matrix of like, oh, this is what's hard about
Mhm.
this deck. These games that was losing, I just don't have to lose anymore. I
Yep.
see, like now I understand. And I think I had like when I finally like figured it out, I think I went on like I think I won like 18 matches in a row on the ladder. And I was
Wow.
just like, certainly for a deck that people claim is like so streaky and like deck can just fail, like I think I'm doing pretty damn well with it. Like I think there's a lot of interesting, hard to spot pieces of how to play this that contribute greatly to
Mhm.
why people like Ollie are like at the top level every time. Like even this time he didn't get the best of, he was second place.
Yep.
Like this guy is a beast, and like he knows it in and out. And like and the same with why other people are top performers with their deck, because there's like so many angles of what makes someone good at their deck, and so many intricacies. And then if I may like segue to a slightly different subject that I
Yeah.
just find very interesting,
Go for it.
is deck specializing and
Mhm.
like legend specializing in Riftbound. It's like we've seen so many cool performances and victories from people playing decks you'd never expect. Like even in Utrecht, like we saw like Darius, like Volibear was
Yeah.
one win away from getting in there. Like there were so many decks that like tried and true specialists that like Colin, like for example, like he's crushing it with set.
Yep.
And like anyone else trying to pick it up is not it. Like he was the only one to day two, but like if you know your deck in and out and you know how it plays against everything in the field, that's like such a deep advantage. And so it's like it deeply rewards specializing. And there's a lot of like different skills that you pick up, and like a lot of different like really deep dive knowledge checks that you need to know for like how to operate these decks. And so it's just a really cool part of Riftbound, though. Like you truly can pick up almost anything. I mean, obviously there's a or there's like a power threshold. Like
Mhm.
it's hard to pick up like Ari and like like top 16 or top 64 with it. Like, um, but there's a lot of decks that have like a lot of tools that, even if it's not the strongest tools, it's like it's how you wield them. And also like frankly playing something really niche just gives you the element of surprise.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, if I had played like I played against Darius maybe 10 more times, maybe I would have won that round against
Yep.
Darius. But I didn't. I got so bamboozled. And that's what's so cool about this game. That's what I'm so excited about. I feel like personally, my goal is to just like main something once a set. And so I don't know what I'll do next set.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do Aurora as well. But I think like I play Aurora a lot the first few weeks to like really try everything and see what I like. And once something really clicks, I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna grind the hell out
Yep.
of this until the end of
Mhm,
the round,
mhm.
because like I need to know how it plays against everything. Like
Yeah.
that's like what it takes.
As someone who plays a little bit too much League, talking about like specialization and these champions, every time I'm queued up and I see someone with a million mastery on a champion, regardless if it's a champion I think is weak, I'm like, oh shit, I need to lock in because they know what the hell they're doing, and I probably don't. You mentioned the next set with Vendetta coming out here. We're getting spoilers in like 2 weeks. We're right on the precipice of it. Have you been doing any theory crafting? Now that sort of Dazzling Aurora is going to have access to basically every color in the domain with the opposite domains, is there any color that you would want to like pair that we currently don't have with Aurora, with that orange that currently isn't available coming to the Vendetta?
Ooh, that's interesting. I mean, I think certainly there's a lot of talk about blue, like just having
Promising future.
Stupefy, having like the
Yep.
Promise Future and stuff like that. But I'll be honest, my brain doesn't operate great without the full picture. And
Mm,
so like this sort of like pre-planning theory crafting, it's not particularly that it's lost on me. It's just like that's not I don't do that super well. Like
yeah.
I mentioned in the first episode, I'm a very good iterator
Mm,
and I'm very good at taking a concept and like, molding it and trying to perfect it. I'm not so much an ideas gal.
yeah.
Like I will come up with them sometimes and I'll get feelings and vibes, but like whew, I am not great at this like early theory crafting. I'll let other people do it, and then I'll just grind a lot.
I feel that I'm right there with you. So getting back onto the floor of Hartford, I know you had mentioned that you were trying to like not really look at the tiebreakers too much, try to look at your position too much, and you mentioned that you were sitting down. I think was it prior to round 13 with Ollie, and sitting down with round 13. Coco is Coco Lopez, CTC Coco Lopez is on the other side of the table from you. You've seen he plays Irelia. You think your favorite, your favorite into Irelia. What was going through your mind of being so close to the best of and having sort of that match maybe decide, because it was either you or Ali at that point. You guys were locked
Mhm.
in, and you guys are buds. I'm sure you guys have so much testing together. You would have been happy regardless who took it. What's going through your mind of like this is the match that's going to decide if he's going to take it or I'm going to take it?
Oh gosh, it's so hard because like leading up to that, I was in such a whirlwind. I've just never been in this position with Riftbound. I've never
Mm,
been in a position where like I'm even like close to the best of. And so like truly for as much as I want to say I stayed nice and composed and I was so ready for anything, I wasn't. I was just like freaking out and just
yeah.
like, oh my gosh, like, am I really gonna win the best of? Is this for real? Is this real life? Like, I locked the hell in, and I didn't think about any of it, and so all my feelings were hitting at once, and so my answer to that question is. I was definitely frazzled, and I
Mm,
and like and I hope that in the future, as I put more competitive achievements under my belt, in a way, I hope that I'm able to stay more composed. But in another way, I hope that that fun excitement still stays with me, like no matter what the achievement is. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I hope that one day I'll be like sitting in the finals of the world championship and then suddenly just going, how did I get here? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, it's great to just zone out and focus on the game. It's also really like, it's also really human to just be like,
Hmm.
whoa. I took a leap and I'm way further than I expected where I'd
Yeah.
be.
So someone explained to me as I was sitting down in these competitive matches, it feels like that feeling get like when you're on like a roller coaster, like that sort of like build up, and you're getting to the top, and like that sort of pit in your stomach, and like, oh my god, I'm here. We're about to get the drop. We're about to go down. But transitioning a little bit away from more of like the competitive scene, and obviously you took top 16, best of Sivir. Do you have it on you for the people who haven't seen it in part one? You want to show it off here for a
I
second?
sure do.
We got to show
Yeah.
it off again. Obviously, seeing that
Yes.
that crown achievement.
And then I want to show you guys my good luck charm too after that. So here
Ooh.
is
Yeah,
the
seeing the best of
there we
Sivir,
go.
absolutely gorgeous.
Dang.
I love
It's
seeing
That's
so
insane.
cool.
I love seeing everyone show off their trophies. I think everyone that we've talked to has held on to it and kept it. And obviously, we know that you're possibly willing to sell it for your marriage. And congratulations again on that. And
Thank you.
what's that good luck charm you're talking about? I gotta know.
Oh yeah, so I tweeted about it.
Yeah. Oh, was
But if you're familiar with the artist Nips,
yes.
she is super cool, and I met her in Utrecht, and she made a tiny little Aurora card for me. And
Oh,
then later the night, like after day two was over, I top 128 at Utrecht. I told myself, all right, the rest of the night is all for me. I'm just gonna hop on the metro, get off on a stop, and go to the nicest food place I can.
mm.
And I went to I went to the Lucky Duck in Amsterdam, and oh man, the sushi was delicious. Like I had Wagyu fried rice. That was
Ooh.
awesome. Like it was fantastic. And then to top it all off, they give me a fortune cookie, and I crack the fortune
Yep.
cookie open,
You
and
kept
and
it.
and I read it, and it just says at the moment you are unbeatable. And I'm like, man, this bodes really well for Hartford. So
That's
here it
amazing
is.
that you kept it. I remember seeing that tweet and going, "Wow, what if the future if the world isn't talking to us in some way, shape, or form, man, coincidence must be a hell of a thing."
Yeah, yeah, no. So I basically every match I took a moment to breathe in, breathe out, take a look at this, smile, and
Yeah.
then start my match. And I feel
Fair
like
enough.
that was a really good ritual to go by.
And that's why the deck didn't betray you.
The heart
See?
of the
Because
cards.
so many times
Yeah.
Aurora will be like, you know what? We're gonna all just be on top of each other.
Yeah. No, I mean day one, the deck and I were at odds for sure. Like
Yeah.
I still made day two, but there were a lot of games that I was like, what is happening? And then day two, I was like sort of expecting a similar thing to happen. And in my round one, there was just there like round one and day two, there was a moment where I'm just like, well, I'm cooked, and then I rip off the top of the deck and I'm
Yep.
like,
Oh, I'm
we're
in it.
friends again. We're we're
Yep.
we're friends. We're doing it. We're getting there.
That's awesome. So as we wrap up this interview here, I asked the same sort of few questions to pro players. I'm going to call you a pro player. Obviously,
Oh,
even if
I
you don't see
appreciate it.
yourself as that, winning a best of, taking top 16. I asked these sort of same questions. If you were God Empress of Riftbound tomorrow, what card would you ban?
What card would I ban?
Or
Oh
cards?
gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Oh, this is so much responsibility. Who's
You're
tasked
the
me
God
with this?
Empress now. We have to know.
Uh, hmm. Hmm.
Hmm.
It will be done.
Yeah.
Oh no. It's hard because so all right, the card that I think will be a problem and probably
Hmm.
should have been banned is Stellacorn. It's
Mm.
not standing out as a huge problem now,
Hmm.
but I can't see a world where it's not a problem at some point in
Yeah.
time. So, like maybe Stellacorn.
Okay.
But otherwise, I think the answer is probably Stack Deck because that's
Yeah.
just such a good card. It's just like
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it'll tank purple stonks, but like it something like that is going to be such a long time staple that it doesn't particularly
Yeah.
leave room for any other card. So it's just like something like Stack Deck, something like Stupefy. Like those
Mhm.
are cards that are there and they're going to stay there until they're
Forever. Yep.
gone. So, if I had to, maybe it'd just be like shake up some of the big staples in
Yeah.
every color just to like make things more fun, I
Who would
guess.
who would have thought Scry 3 draw 1 is a good card? So, opposite of that,
Crazy.
God Empress of
Yeah.
Riftbound. What would you unban?
Would I unban?
And why is it Obelisk of Power as an Aurora player?
Obelisk of power. Obelisk of power.
Nothing.
Okay.
Everything's fine.
Oh, okay.
I'm having a good time. I don't think I unban anything, honestly. I think
Fair.
the bans were fun.
Yeah.
Shaking things up is fun. I'm just looking forward to whatever comes next. And if something's a problem, it'll be a problem.
Yeah.
But I remember I was almost gonna tweet it and then I didn't, and I should have. It was like the couple weeks that everyone was like making a lot of noise about like ban Aurora, this is crazy,
Yeah.
ban Aurora.
Yep.
And I was just like, I was making curry. It was like a huge pot of curry, and I was literally just stirring the pot. And I was just gonna like take a video of that and just post it like, I don't think we should ban Aurora.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even an Aurora player at the
Yeah.
time. I was just like, I kind of want to stir the pot. But yeah, no. So I don't know. I'm like very, very neutral and just like,
Yeah.
all right, people are gonna get upset about the cards they get upset about. And like, yeah, obviously like some cards just make unhealthy play patterns.
Yeah.
Stuff like Reaver's Row and Draven, like that was rough. And so I'm all in favor of just riding the ebb and flow of it and just
Yeah.
enjoying the game as it is, and hopefully it gets to stay fun and exciting and we don't get too many more like crazy broken combos.
Yeah. So speaking of riling up Twitter, what's your spiciest Riftbound take that would make that someone would, as soon as they hear it, they're gonna make a Twitter thread or a Reddit thread about you?
Spiciest Riftbound take.
This always catches everyone off guard.
I don't even know how spicy a take it is, but honestly, something that I've embraced recently that like maybe some people will take issue with is like be on top of the clock. As someone who has
Yes.
been a victim of getting slow played, it
Mhm.
is like really hard. At first, it was really hard for me to be like, I'm going to call a judge if you do not take a game action.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like maybe people will think this is a bit too aggressive, but like this whole tournament, I did not get slow played because I was like very vigilant about like 1 minute in, I will just be like, hey, it's been about a minute. Just want to give you a heads up on the timer. We're
Yeah.
like we're a little like short on time.
Yeah.
And then if it's been like a minute and a half or 2 minutes, I will just be like, hey, I'm gonna need you to take a game action. And like I don't even have to say the words or I'm gonna call a judge. They usually just take the game
implied.
actions at that point.
Yeah.
So I think like be much more vigilant. Like I'm always looking at the clock, and like I am not immune to doing my own, like, playing slow sometimes. I
Mhm.
really try to play fast, and I genuinely think that I do. But like sometimes I'm just gonna tank, and everyone's
Yeah.
gonna. And even like even if you do that sometimes, it's okay to be vigilant the other way around, because I think like we should all just be vigilant. Like we all want to play all of our games in the allotted time. So like yeah,
Mhm.
I guess that's my take. It's
Yeah.
okay to like pseudo threaten the timer of just like, hey, it's been a minute. I need you to take a game action, please.
Yeah.
Like
Fair enough.
that's okay.
Yeah, and last but not least, Bloody, just sort of like on a more lighter note, as someone who has so much time in TFT, and I don't know if you have a lot of time in League itself, is there any champions in TFT or League that you want to see introduced into Riftbound? Something that, kind of like stuck with you?
Oh man. So it's funny because I never played League, and then I
Mm,
just jumped into TFT and I had a blast.
yeah.
I think units that I think are really cool is I'd be excited to see what happens when Braum enters the fray. I'd be excited to see what happens with like Poros or
Yep.
something. Like
Yeah.
I think Varus is someone who I like enjoy just watching play.
Mm,
Same with like Ziggs. Like
yeah.
I have to imagine that Ziggs would be like fun. I'm just thinking of like units that I enjoy playing with. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what Yorick would be like, but I'm just
Ooh.
remembering Yorick from one of the sets where he just like summons big ghouls, and it's
Yeah.
just like it'd be cool if there's a legend that like their thing is like summon a little guy, summon a little guy, summon a huge guy. Like
Mm,
that's cool. Like there's so much interesting game design to be had in Riftbound that I'm just like I know that the developers are like 5 sets ahead of what we see right now, and I'm
oh
just
yeah.
like, honestly, like I trust Riot. And like the reason I'm here playing Riftbound is because like of all the game developers I've worked with, I actually like really trust Riot to just like continue making good decisions and good game design decisions and good
Hmm.
like competitive environment decisions. And
Yep.
so like I'm buckled in, I'm hooked, like I'm a pro Riftbound player now. I'm gonna keep grinding my ass off until I'm the best in the world and everyone knows it. And so whatever they've got in store for me, whatever cool cards are up next, like I'm in. I'm there.
Love to hear it. And guys, you heard it here first. Self-proclaimed bloody pro Riftbound player, Bloody. Thank you so much for coming on today. Guys, if you haven't checked out part one, it's over on Summoners Weekly. Bloody, got to give the floor to you. Where can everyone find you at? What's going on in your Riftbound life? What's in the future? I know you already answered it for JD, but what's where can we find you?
Yeah, I mean, twitch.tv/bloody. I'm gonna do like a 30th birthday wedding-a-thon next week, and try to raise some money for my upcoming wedding. On Twitter, I'm just bloody.
Yeah.
On YouTube, I'm Blueby. What's next for Riftbound? Barcelona.
Yep.
I'm gonna work really, really hard to do my best and bring something really cool. Maybe I write like a little Metafy guide. It won't be like a big like expensive one or anything. I just have a lot of thoughts that I want to
Yeah.
share for anyone who's interested. So maybe I'll do like a cheap little article that like I just put a ton of time into, and just like if people want to check it out, they're welcome to. So maybe that's on the horizon. Keep your eyes peeled on Twitter.
Yeah.
All that fun stuff.
I'm sure the people would love to see it, and we'll include links to everything down in the description below. Bloody JD from Summoners Weekly, thank you so much for your time today and sharing your thoughts. Guys, this has been another round of our pro player interviews, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.